What's your guys what's initial thoughts about the trailer? Because
It looked fun.
Oh, I
I
love
really
it.
liked it, and I had very low expectations, so I went into it pretty like easygoing. It was not like a hardcore judge thing for me. Um, I thought it did a great job of being in its own way. Like, I want to be clear here. I think it's going to be a different series. This is not One Piece the anime. This is not One Piece the manga, even if that's what it's sourced off. This is going to be kind of its own thing, and I think people should, embrace that when
Yeah.
they watch it. You're not going to get that pacing that has made One Piece like itself will not exist here. So some of those things aren't going to hit the same because they will literally be in the same episode or an episode after. That has the O face. What happened?
The episode titles for Netflix's One Piece series are reportedly uh as listed by the WGA. We'll get to that in a second. But um actually, do you want me to just
Yeah,
read
just
off
do it.
the
Yeah,
okay.
what's episode
Okay.
one supposed to be?
Romance Dawn, which is okay, pretty dope.
Let's play the game. Where do you think the episode ends? It's like each
Oh,
episode. Where do you
Luffy
think
punching the shit out of the sea monster. That's where it ends.
you don't
That's
think
right.
Alvida is going to be in that episode?
No, because the second episode is reportedly called The Man in the Straw Hat. So
Flashback.
that might be the flashback. Hold on. Romance Dawn might be him
They're
meeting
doing what
Kobe.
Netflix always does, and they like fuck up the actual order of things.
But that's how the anime did it.
No, is it?
Yeah, the anime Nami's in the
Flashback in
first
this
episode.
Oh, the anime. Sorry, you said
Yeah.
the anime. Not I heard anime, but thought manga.
So the third one is Tell No Tales.
That's
Uh that has to be Zoro.
Why did you say
The next the pirates are coming. What do we think that one is?
Well,
The
that's what.
the it's
or
Usopp.
called Syrup? Yeah, Syrup Village. Usopp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eat at Baratier.
Sanji.
The chef and the chore boy.
Oh,
Maybe
so Friday
Sanji.
is two episodes.
I told you I was guessing
I was
two
like,
episodes of Baratier.
there's no way it can be one
And
because too much
then
Do
happens.
all of Syrup Village in one. Do you know how like unimpressive Kuro is in a one episode shot?
Yeah, that
yeah.
was gonna be my like immediate complaint is that's not something that should be one episode because then the delivery just falls flat. So this is already looking pretty rough.
No,
But
like
here after that, hold on. They're doing all of Arlong Park in one episode, it looks like.
No,
Good chance they're
no,
either
no.
gonna
Well, it's the girl with the sawfish tattoo. So I think that's
yeah,
like is the seventh.
that's
So
Nami's backstory. And
what
then
would worst in the East be like him finishing it? So it could be two episodes. Oh God, that's like one episode
that
tops.
worst in the East is gonna be him getting his bounty, which means
By
Rogue Town.
beating our this
Like
is
he'll have beaten Arlong in that one episode, which it's also Netflix too, so these might be longer than an hour.
maybe if it was like
Like
HBO, maybe, but Netflix still keeps them pretty like
I
traditionally
mean,
cut.
we'll
I thought
see.
I heard or read that all of them were like an hour, with the exception I think the final episode might be a little bit longer. But that's a weird.
Worst in the East might be they might do Rogue Town as the start of the Grand Line. That might be how if they were to do a season two. Because worst in the East, all you have to do is you beat Arlong in that episode, and the ending is like a Navy guy going, "Oh, Straw Hat is the worst in the East," and then he gets his bounty, and that's how you end the season, which is not a bad spot to end it. You can still do the barrel thing.
This is going to be Witcher season one levels of choppy editing.
Maybe I was asked talking to Justin about this, and I was like, do you think the fights are gonna change? And what I mean is in every Luffy beats everybody up. But if we're cutting it down to an arc and episode, right? So like Alvida, Zoro, Usopp, what if they change the fights in a way where Luffy doesn't necessarily beat them outright, but the crew member beats them outright? So it's a way to show off Usopp as being capable as he beats Kuro. Nami deals the finishing blow on Buggy.
Inherently wrong.
Not that bad, actually. I mean, all she has to do is kick him in the nuts, and that's like pretty on par with
No,
what
I
happened
mean,
in the manga.
no, I'm talking about Usopp.
Chef and the Chore Boy. So you have Sanji beat Krieg. Zoro beats Axe Hand, not Luffy.
I mean, that's
And then Luffy with his crew, Luffy has to beat Arlong. But it's like a way to like it would, for me, I don't really want to see Luffy punch someone every episode and win. That seems kind of boring. What'll make or break it for me is that, I think.
so, and this is all. I think this is, like I said, this has to be its own thing. But I think it's also hard for to convince my brain of that because, and I think Jake just said it kind of as a one-liner. The whole part of East Blue, and you could argue the whole part of what has now become more solidified as the first half of One Piece, is Luffy saving everyone to get his crew.
Yeah.
And if you do give, yeah, it'd be kind of cool to give the crew like some spotlight. And like I said, if this is just a different thing, which I'll respect that until I find out otherwise, that'd be cool. But then you almost do take an indirect hit to Luffy because his whole thing is like how far he's willing to go for his friends. And not that he won't be involved in those fights, but his knockouts are iconic for that series. Like him, I don't even remember the fucking fight with Kuro, and I don't know if it's like a punch to the face or him grabbing him, whatever. However the fuck he beats him, I think he grabs him and throws him against the ground.
Yeah.
Iconic. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Like most of Usopp's arc, I don't remember.
I hate Usopp's arc, but no, but I'm saying it's iconic.
Usopp's black.
World that like that's why they're all so indebted to Luffy. Even at this point in their lives, where like they've all got separate goals, and every single one of them can look around and be like, "I'd be dead if he wasn't here." Like it's just that simple.
Which it's like you can have Luffy help, but I think it'd be really cool to have the crew do the decisive blow. You know what I mean? And it'll, because otherwise it's like where I think the One Piece manga misses it is it doesn't do the best job of highlighting characters that aren't Luffy. And so if you're going to try to do something a little bit different,
Absolutely.
and again, we're talking pacing, right? So it's like if Netflix drops 8 episodes, they're going to drop all 8 at one time, right? If I have to sit through 8 hours where I know that Luffy is going to punch the guy and win at the end of every single episode, that'll be kind of a whiff for me. Show off these other characters. You're paying these actors to exist. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, we're just not gonna draw Usopp in this panel. No. This fool was on set. You know, like this is like a guy you have to pay to be there. So you might as well write something in to make him have his shining moment. And if it's just the East Blue fuckers, who gives a shit about them? Like, I'm never gonna see Don Krieg again. Probably I'll see him again. But like, you know, like fuck Don Krieg.
Alive, fucker. So it's like your boy's just sailing on a broken ship.
Yeah, like if Luffy handles a lot of the Don Krieg fight, but maybe like can't beat him entirely, you know what I mean? Maybe Sanji comes in and finishes the job and that's fucking fine, you know? I don't care. Like we're talking, like Mihawk's definitely going to be in this show, by the way.
Yeah, he has to be.
Mihawk will be in this. Like we're talking about Baratier, where Zoro gets fucked up, Nami steals the ship, and Don Krieg was the most powerful guy in East Blue. You know, like I think that it's fine to like let Luffy maybe need a little help with that one. maybe he gets poisoned and it's like, oh, he can't quite handle poison yet. Great, that's fine. Let Sanji get the W.
To
Um,
is like, yeah, Don Krieg was like the top guy in East Blue, like for people's reputation. But in the actual time we saw him in East Blue, both Mihawk and Dragon were there. So like the power scale of
Yeah.
East Blue was like, yeah, Don Krieg, who I think is like 20 million was his bounty or some shit. No, Arlong was 20.
Arlong was 20. Don Krieg was like,
15.
yeah, it was just under. He was because he was the most. He was the highest bounty in East Blue, and then Arlong came in and like settled. I think that's how. No, because Arlong's been there a minute.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah, he was one of. Well, he was like one of the most prominent figures in East Blue.
I know he had the biggest army, like that was his thing, is like that was our first example.
He had an armada, yeah.
Oh, yeah, fleet or armada, so it was like, which is worthless, but Mihawk does that to a lot of armadas probably. So
Yeah.
my only concern will be, like I said, is how the pacing hits is like I said, Oda doesn't have these quote unquote, like I said, I've said multiple times, like it's a very keep it simple, stupid formula. But because of his pacing and because of the info that he spoon feeds us, like little things can feel big because they're connected 100 chapters apart. That's
Mhm.
gonna be really hard to get that feeling in 8 hours of total time. And then I'm even like trying to broadcast to the future. I'm like, are they gonna tell me Alabasta's 2 episodes?
No, I think what'll happen is Alabasta will be its own thing, but we'll have like if I don't think Rogue Town's in season 1, so I'm guessing it'll be Rogue Town, the Whale, I almost said Cactus Island, but I don't remember. Little Garden, Chopper, and that's where Wapple will probably be where season 2 ends, and then you get in the desert for who knows how long.
Alabasta could be, and I know it won't be, but Alabasta could be its own 8 live adaptation episode. Like that.
It would probably if they're, and again, it's as long as you want it to be, my guy. Because at some point they have to go to the sky and make that look cool. So
It's Netflix. It's not going to get to season 2.
if it, and here's my thing. I'm like, you could totally do it.
Actually, it'll
Right.
get to 3 seasons and then be canceled.
No, the worst part is no matter how good, this could be amazing, right? It could be fun. It could be cool. Whatever. I don't think it'll be cool, but I think it'll be fun. And that in and of itself is One Piece. No matter how good it is, the fan base won't let it exist.
No,
because anime fans are not good people.
That's a fact.